And that microphone is on. Welcome everyone. Glad to have you on board tonight. Let's see, what is it? It's the October the 13th. Wow. And of course of 2022 for those who need to know. And Sue Hayes says, I hear you, Doc. And of course, Sue Hayes, Sue was the first one in today, and so Sue gets cookies. Well, we'll take care of that right away. There we go. Well, one more, and there's the cookies. That way I don't forget. Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you on board. It's an interesting day, not too much in the lines of eruptive activity, or none that we could actually see. I mean, there was some, but it's an interesting day nonetheless. I did get the spider up on the roof and some weight underneath it, and that's also interesting for me anyway. Hopefully those others that haven't gone over to my 24/7 live stream, you might want to take a look there if you haven't done so already. It'd be pretty cool. But anyway, welcome to everyone, and I'm going to say hi to the moderators first. Should be Arizona Snowman somewhere in the background, as well as Piggy, and C&D Boy, I think might still be busy, and he'll be in. And of course, possibly hiding in the background as well would be Gary, 24/7 Live AZ Skies, and possibly Joseph Fields. So those are kind of the lineup for the moderators, and they are a great bunch. So we do do like having them here, and they are really, really good people, and that is awesome. Drim's Votten. Andy, what are you talking about? That's not where the quakes were. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that yet. Saving that. Anyway, welcome everyone, and we'll go through the names real quick, and we'll see what we can come up with right away. Anyway, pardon me. Boy, I'm coughing already. It's definitely, when I was up on the roof, I could smell the funny pollen, whatever is in the air, and I thought, I'm going to be sneezing and wheezing and coughing and all kinds of things. But anyway, excuse me while I have a quick sip of Pepsi, clear my throat. And there we go. Anyway, welcome to, we'll start out, well, we already said hi to Sue since she was the first one in. And John Raper, glad that you made it in. And I noticed that you left a message on the other one, which is absolutely fine, but you got over here anyway. Also, welcome to Andy and Barbell88, King Colin Deadman, Lizoid, Henry Nelson, who's going to Denver, and Hermione Schaefer, and let's go up some more. Kevin Haynes, who can now read the date, I hope, on the screen. Oh boy. I figured, hey, that date was already on there. Why do I need to do that twice? But I can see it here on some displays. It may not be showing as well, so I don't know, because it's down on the bottom right. If you touch the screen and that silly line comes up and stuff on YouTube, it's always hard. You don't see it because it blurs it out. Anyway, going up the list some more, looking for other fine names, and we got Henry, Oz. Welcome, Oz. Glad to have you on board. And Oz, I fell asleep before I could go make my chocolate. I had the cup on the counter. I had the chocolate sitting there, and I had gone back to do other things, and I was watching videos, and I thought, oh, I'm getting tired, and I closed my eyes. So I didn't have chocolate last night. I wanted to do that. Well, maybe I'll give it another go tonight, since the cup is still sitting there, as well as my chocolate. So pretty cool. Anyway, going up some more here, and let's see who else we got in here. Boy, you guys are a chatty bunch. Brian, Perfectability 999 is also here. Welcome, Brian. Galactic Volcano, good to see you. Welcome. Robert Frary, also in the house. Philomena, good to see you, Philomena. And who else have we got? OFU Lux from Luxembourg, with his wonderful little spaceship. Glad you got here. And I know it was a rough flight probably, right? Especially over, if you had to do any detouring over Italy or anywhere really. It was pretty rough in some places. Some big storms. Anyway, I'm moving up a little bit more on the list here, trying to find some other more good names. Well, they're all good names. Connie Tyree also here. Ariane, welcome back. I'm glad to have you on board. And Frank McLeod, welcome. And I am up as high as I can go. I see Judy L up there as well. And I think we're just about that's it. I don't see any other names down on the bottom. And Bananapus says, shh, I'm lurking. Okay, Storm Chaser 1211 also here, as well as Silversmith, welcome. And Chicky Gomberg, welcome. Good to see you, Chicky. And let's see. Something just happened. What happened? I paid the big fella at the door. Irish Monk, welcome. Glad to have you on. And hope you're doing okay. Irish Monk. And I'll put that down here. The big fella at the door, eh? Yeah, there we go. All right. That's the one that's wearing the rabbit costume, right? Trev T. Winky Wonky Donkey. Welcome. And glad to have you on board, Trev. Kevin Williams also popped in, as well as Kate Crease. Welcome, Kate. And welcome, Kevin. And Kevin Haynes is also here, so let's not confuse the two. Sasha just got here. Welcome, Sasha. Glad to have you on board. And I think we're just about good with names for right now anyway. And I'll say hi to those others as they come in. As I had on originally here was we were looking at our other... oh, Birdie Num, welcome. What? Popper da Pop? Okay, Popper da Pop. Okay, Birdie Num, welcome. Anyway, let's pop over here back to our wonderful Stromboli, and we'll talk about that for a second. You see how gray that is? That's not because of Stromboli throwing out a bunch of ash and stuff. That's because the weather is really, really bad there, and they've got some real nasty clouds and stuff like that. Same thing over in Sicily, and so no video of Etna today because we just couldn't see it. All it was sort of cloud and gray, and it's what it is. You know, we get some good days, we get some bad days. And let's see. Let's go back over to. We'll start out with Iceland, and we'll have a look and see what we can find there. I'll turn off the banners here and stop our canned lava. And there we get to see the city of Reykjavik in Iceland, and it is looking actually not bad right now. At least it's not raining, and that was pretty good. If we go back about 6 hours, that'll give you a pretty good idea of what it looks like. There we go. That's one of the shots, and that looks pretty neat. You can see the mountains in the background there. And they do again have snow on it. It was all melted before, but the ones way in the back here always had snow, so pretty cool. And let's just have a look at the other views here. Oh, wonderful. How about this one? Will that have commercials too? Maybe not. Let's crank it up to a higher thing, and we'll go back a little ways. We'll go back 7 hours ago here on this one, and there you can see Katla, and you can also see something specific, and that is the angle of the sun is very, very low, and that is telling us it's that time of year, and it's doing its thing, but you do see Katla hiding underneath the ice back there, so that's what that is, and pretty awesome to see that. I've been to Iceland. I thought all the girls looked like sisters, blonde. Hey, Silversmith, what's wrong with that? The ones I seen were all pretty good looking too, so never mind. Change the subject. Billy Bob Joe, welcome. And awesome. Anyway, let's see if those darn commercials are done. They are too, but it dumped me back to a low quality. Anyway, that's the other shot from Iceland of Reykjavik, and let's take a quick look there. There you go. That's a daytime shot. That's 6.5 hours ago, roughly, and that's what it looked like. So that is your fill of what it looks like there right now. So let's have a quick peek at the harmonic tremor chart and see what it is doing. And I did have to reboot the computer, so everything is in different locations again. Bear with me when things are going here. trying to switch and do my thing. Anyway, looking at what we've got here, a bunch of little spikes in here indicating some smaller earthquakes happening or very distant ones. And the reason I say distant ones, we're about to show you. Anyway, Fragerdelfjall and Ragnar area is looking pretty steady and quiet. So nothing major going on. Let's slide down to Grimsey. And the Grimsey area, of course, is on the other end of our wonderful Iceland. It's way up in the north. And there you see some heavy-duty spikes on an uplift right there, and some other activity. But in general, it was still on a downward trend, so nothing really major happened. We do see another spike right in here as well, just after midnight, and that's kind of what we're seeing. So we've got a few quakes fairly close. This looks like it's possibly 2 right in here. So we're going to have a look at those shortly, and let's take a look at the other one down here, Grindavik. And Grindavik, of course, showing the same steady activity that it was doing yesterday as well, with the exception of the big spike in there that we don't see today. But that's all, and that is our harmonic tremor charts, looking pretty steady as we go. So that is, it's kind of, is it good, is it bad? I don't know. It is steady. And Irish, oh no, never mind, at Sioux, okay. What, Arctic wanderings? Don't be wandering in the Arctic, or if you do, make sure you dress warmly. 6.4. Oh, just a new one in Papua New Guinea. Thanks, Gary. We'll get to those in a bit and have a look. But right now, just getting off the chart here, off of Grindavik. Going to put it back on Fragerdelfjall. And one more. There we go. Right in frame, and let's go have a look at our quakes for today in Iceland. And again, I'm hunting. There it is. Things, of course, disappeared. So when we look at the entirety of the map, you see we do have some stuff going on down here on the peninsula, and of course throughout the areas. But nothing compared to what we're seeing up here, and that is the Grimsey area. And again, we are seeing some fairly decent activity. By the way, we had roughly about 150, actually I was seeing it at 160 earlier, but 156 earthquakes today is what it says now in for Iceland in the last 24 hours. Anyway, the island of Grimsey is right there, that little black spot, and there you can see it. They even have an airport, and that is pretty good. It's not an international airport. Don't try to fly there. Anyway, Nightbot, inhale, exhale. Nightbot. I don't think Nightbot knows how. Anyway, we do see a bunch of these quakes, so I'm not going to go through all of them because there's just way too many. We're going to sample a few here, and 10 kilometers down for this 1.4, and that was at 2159. This 1.4, 5.3 clicks down, 2223. We'll check this 1.4. That one was up quite high. Only 393 meters down, and of course that is a 1.47 from 1503, and I don't know if there's others that were that shallow in the area. No, that one's 11 kilometers down for that 0.99 from 630, so definitely not him. 6.4 kilometers down for this 1.8 from 1632. And I don't think that's going to matter much to us. Hey, Piggy is here. Welcome, Piggy. And we need to give Piggy a cart. Piggy, let's give Piggy a cart. I gotta do my things, guys. It's, you know, habit. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. We gotta keep Piggy happy. Otherwise, we get in trouble. There we go. There's a cart for you, Piggy. You can go zooming around, get your crayons. And glad that you're here. Okay, looking at the other area down on the bottom here, we do see some bigger ones. Now, we did have a 3 on here. That was a 3 point something. Actually, if we change that to, let's see, that'll only go up to 1 day. Okay, never mind. We'll just leave that as is. But we did have a 3 point something on here as well. It was 16, 17 kilometers down, so fairly deep. Anyway, this is a 2.98, and it was 15.6 kilometers down from 1504. And let's see, there was also this 2.16, 12 kilometers down, or 12.7 from 9:50 a.m. Just doing some samples in here, so 2.1, 4.5 kilometers down, 1505 for that guy. Then we had from 1247 a 1.78, and that was 12.2 kilometers down, and that is all cool. Oh, I hear my squirrel. Hey, Squirrely, go get some cookies. He's chatting up a storm out there, probably telling me why he's late. Anyway, this 2.1, 0.05, in other words, 50 meters down. That is a little bit more worrisome, and that is 10:07 a.m. What are these other ones around here? The one close to it, 7 kilometers down. Big difference, right? 1.49 for that guy, 13 minutes after midnight. What about this one on this side? 9.7 kilometers down for a 0.98 from 4:30 a.m. And yeah, we keep getting earthquakes popping in there, and that's why the screen disappears, or the display disappears real quick. 10:38 a.m. we had a 1.44, and boy, that squirrel is noisy. I don't know if you guys can hear him. Can you guys hear that? That's that squirrel. Oh, that's 2 squirrels. No wonder they're so loud. They brought friends. Wow. Okay, they ran away, but they did hear me yakking, so I'm sure they'll be right back. And they'll continue on doing their thing. They're trying to compete. I think Squirrely wants to be a radio announcer or something, doing stuff here on YouTube. Hi there. I see ya. Okay. You're watching me, huh? Okay, he's staring in the window now. I don't know. I'm getting a complex here. Squirrely, go get a nut. Oh, you want more nuts? Okay, fine. Just go get the ones that are there. Yeah, that's what a squirrel sounds like when they're talking. Okay. It's interesting. Anyway, oh, let's get back at it. Sidetracked by a squirrel. Wow. That's the old squirrel complex, right? Can't pay attention. And I think he wants me to pay attention to him. And I think he's telling me he's going to hibernate soon or something. Yeah, there is definitely 2 in a tree today. There's 2 squirrels out there. Trying to get into your garden. Okay. Anyway, 2.0, 4.4 kilometers down, 1511 on that guy. Sorry, you guys. Sidetracked by the noise outside. A 1.6, and that one's fairly shallow as well. 400 meters down from 854. And then we move down here. There's my 3. I knew it was there somewhere. And 3.46 from 56 minutes after midnight. And that, of course, 10.005 kilometers down. And wow, they're really trying to get on the show here, I think. The squirrels. Anyway, another one here, 50 minutes after 2 p.m. And that is 1.67 in magnitude, 8.2 kilometers down for that one. And then we keep going here with the other ones. 1.1, 5.2 kilometers down, and 15:54 was the time for that. So that gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on in the area. We do have some shallow ones mixed in with the rest, and that is kind of weird that we're seeing them very, very shallow. But hey, you know, maybe we will see some type of an eruption. Something underwater. We'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting. And let's see, these other ones here are 1.46 from 8:04 a.m. and 9.2 kilometers down for that guy. Fairly fresh one here from 1800, a magnitude 1, 6.5 kilometers down. And this one onshore, and that is 0.9. And that is only 100 meters down. A little worrisome. 15:12 is the time on that guy. What about these ones? 5.2 kilometers down for this 0.2 from 34 minutes after midnight. Then we have a very, 0.69. I was going to say very small, but I thought that was a 0.09, but it's 0.69. 8.7 kilometers down, 16 minutes after midnight. Let's carry on. We're going to jump over a few of these and zip right over to Astia. And they did have a couple of quakes there. From 1804, I see a 1.2, 1.1 kilometers down. And that is interesting as well. 1204 for this guy, 0.32, 4.8 kilometers down. This 0.7, a little fresher, 5.9 kilometers down from 1928. And then this one, 15 minutes after midnight, 0.46, 3.77 kilometers down. And glad to see that. All right. Hopefully we'll see some other kind of eruption happening. I'd rather see it happen there than over at Grimsvatn, really. I think that'd be more accessible. I don't know. Either one would be bad as far as tourists, right? Anyway, 12:52 a.m. p.m. We had this 1.58, and it was 4.1 kilometers down. That is to the northeast of Astia. Then we have this little cluster here. Very, very small quakes for the most part. There's two bigger ones. 2:04 a.m. 1.24, 8 kilometers down, 8.1 kilometers down. And then from 10:06, we had another magnitude 1, 7.6 kilometers down for that guy. And let's see these other ones here. 1:28 a.m. 0.76, 7.3 kilometers down. And I'm just trying to get some of the bigger ones here. This one is from 1311. 0.79, 6.3, or just about 6.4 kilometers down for him. And that is kind of in that little cluster. I don't know what's going to happen there. Maybe some movement of some sort. Sliding over a little bit more. We see over here at Bardabunga at 11:29 had a magnitude 2.06, 7 kilometers down, and then a from 1943, we had a 0.4, and it was 5.4 kilometers down. Then we see this one kind of on its own, 12.05 kilometers down from 34 minutes after midnight. And here's Grimsvatn, and we only see 2 quakes in the area, a 1.06 from 340, or sorry, it is 3.46 kilometers down. 11:47 is the time on that. And then we have this other one from 7:06 a.m. It is magnitude 0.7, 4.3 kilometers down. So not that shallow for something that's going to erupt. I want to see it up a little bit higher. So kind of neat. But we'll see what happens. And 10:32 a.m. we had a 1.14, 3.7 kilometers down for him, and then a 0.64, 4.7 kilometers down, a 1:55 a.m. And then out here we had a 1.42 magnitude, and then of course 1.6 kilometers down for that guy from 8:34. And let's see what else we got cooking here. Down here at Katla, we had a few, and let's see, they're little tiny ones again. 0.17, 1.14 kilometers down from 4:37. Let's see this other one here, 7:51 a.m. a 0.4, and that was only 42 meters down. Very interesting there. That could have been in the ice, some ice movement or dropping. Whereas this one from 6:17 a.m. and that is a 0.47, and that was 11.8 kilometers down. So fairly deep on that guy. And that is at Katla. So we've got some kind of ice melt happening there as well. And let's see what else we got here. Out in the middle of nowhere, well, actually in the volcanic field, really, 14:19 was the time on this 1.1, 4.2 kilometers down for him. 17:46 we had a 1.8 and 5.2 kilometers down. Sliding over a little bit more, we see this guy 1.6, 5 kilometers down from 1648, and going over to the one that I really can't pronounce, 0.8, 5.2 kilometers down, and yes, I've tried, it just doesn't come out very easily. 1733, and Squirrely is telling me to roll my R's. All right, there are no R's in there. Darn squirrel, smart guy. Thanks, Piggy, for the 5-minute warning. And 18:30 for this 0.6, 2.4 kilometers down for him. And getting up here and near one of these other ones, a little further north here. 1.2, 5.6 kilometers down from 1828. And zooming in on closer to our area. Of course, we are here, Frageldalfjall, and we only see that one quake in the area. Quick peek at it, 0.35, 2.67 kilometers down, and that is 10:20 a.m. Trevor, behave. You're nuts at Dr. Fox. They are after them again. Watch out. Wear bicycle clips. Trevor, behave. Behave. Really. Anyway. I ain't going out there while they're there. Those squirrels are vicious. 0.31, 1.9 kilometers down, and 1:56 a.m. for that guy. Next one, 2:02 this morning in Iceland, 0.79, 7.2 kilometers down. And welcome Pistol Pete, and this one was at 4:24 in the morning, 0.46, 5.6 kilometers down. Then we also have this other one, 0.14, and it is 4.3 kilometers down. That's over in the Kruševac area, by the way, from 35 minutes after 1 a.m. And another one here, 1:11 a.m. and that was 0.71, 5.3 kilometers down. Sorry, you guys, I'm just sidetracked by the silly squirrel here. 7:55 a.m., 0.56, 6.2 kilometers down for that guy. And we really don't need to hit every one of them, but that gives you a general idea. These things aren't really that shallow in this area, and not that, well, this one we looked at already, 2.6 kilometers down. That is, it seems to be a shallow area in that area, really. It, there's Kalir. We've always seen them, this whole area here, where they get fairly shallow. And I'm wondering if it's something underground, the way it's shaped underneath there, and that causes that. By the way, and there's our Roll and Siggy Fisher would be here, and of course Ragnar itself would be about here, and of course they call the entire area Fragedalfjall. Anyway, I'm zooming over towards Grindavik. There's the town of Grindavik, but we have a bunch here across the street from Siggy's place, and that is 1.04, and that happened at it happened at 11:13. It was a 5.4, 5.5 kilometers down, that kind of thing. And let's see, 0.43, 5.2 kilometers down from 2:10 a.m. Going up here a little bit, looking at these, 0.69, very small quakes, all of these, 5:38 a.m. for that guy, and it was 4.9 kilometers down. Then we see a 0.275 kilometers down from 9:57 a.m. Don't see anything right in Grindavik. We see a 0.66, 4.7 kilometers down from 1417, very close to the Blue Lagoon, which is right here, Blue Lagoon power plant, that kind of thing. And let's see, if we go out a little bit more, we see the rest of these, very small, and again, not going to worry too much about them. 0.9, 5 kilometers down, 6:47, and this one at 2:53 a.m. 1, and it was 5.6 kilometers down. A little fresher one here, 18:58, 1.3, and 5.8 kilometers down. And we'll grab this guy here yet too, 12:58 p.m. and that was 1.38, 5.6 kilometers down. Let's see, was there anything else further out? No. And I think that's it for our quakes there in Iceland. So it gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on. It is break time, you guys. So what I am going to do is we'll throw this back. Let's check first to see if we've got anything going on. I'm late for an important date. Oh my God, the squirrels. And the squirrel didn't even come to get nuts. Maybe the squirrel is telling me that he doesn't like those nuts, or he wants new cookies. I have no idea. Anyway, that's Stromboli on the screen, and of course it's still in the clouds. I'm going to put you back onto the canned lava, and hopefully that'll work. And there we go, canned lava. Date and time on canned lava. There. And now some music. So for those good people here, if you're enjoying the stream and you haven't hit that like button yet, please help us out. Our target is to get well over 100. And of course, if you're new and you are enjoying it, you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit that subscribe button if you feel we've earned it. And on that note, I'm going to go take a break. I'll be back in 5 minutes or thereabouts. Don't go away. And that microphone is back on. And, oh, I'm working on stuff here. Important stuff, you know. Anyway, there we go. Okay, I got that out. Had to do it. I had to do it. Piggy left it wide open. Anyway, thank you for the welcome backs, and welcome to those newcomers. Glad to have you on here. And that horse looks like an oinker. Almost. I don't know. I just had to do that. The hoarseness. And thank you for the welcome backs from Leo, and welcome Leo, as well as Grandma B. No, she didn't say that, but she said hi, hey Leo, and welcome Grandma B. Welcome Kevin Haynes, thanks Kevin Haynes and Sasha. And apparently I'm a noodle again. That is all good. Thor is in the house. Welcome Thor. As Sharon Stewart says, I hear you, Dr. Fox. Hi Sharon. And I think we got pretty good for the rest of them. So glad to have everyone on board. And we got Storm Chaser earlier, so all cool. With his Vegemite Dynamite toast. And that could be dangerous. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, we did have a look at the earthquakes in Iceland, and we did kind of peek at Stromboli. Stromboli is still kind of in the weather, so we're not going to be able to see a heck of a lot there. We'll pop back over just so you can see what it's looking like. And there we go. What? Dr. Fox, it's a noodle. Thanks, Piggy. Boo to you too, and way to go. That is funny. Oh boy, I'm gonna get in trouble. I may say something. Anyway, clouds, of course, the clouds around here are really, really bad, so it's kind of weird, but yeah, everything's in clouds. You do see these little bits falling out, so you know it is still going. It's still erupting, and we unfortunately can't see. We know there's a lighter spot right there. Even on the thermal, you're not able to see anything there either, but you do see some of that bacon sliding down the hill, so that's kind of what we had there. If we go over to other places here, let's see what we can do. Oh, I clicked the wrong buttons. I didn't want that one. I wanted this button. Okay, go here. And we'll take a look at what Sicily kind of looked like today, and what I was referring to not really being very advantageous for having any kind of there we go. You know, we don't see anything in the background. Etna is there somewhere in those clouds. That is about 8 hours ago, 7 hours ago, or somewhere thereabouts. You see that big thick cloud, and you really couldn't see anything. So that's kind of why I didn't make up any videos today. Earlier, this is about 10.5 hours ago. That's what it was like. So a pretty cloudy day there in Sicily and bottom end of Italy because of that storm, pardon me, the storm passing across, and that is what's happening there. So let's go take a look at the Azores, and unfortunately, actually, hang on, let's see if I can find that real quick. I did take a couple of new pics today here, and I want to see if I can bring those up. Screenshots, and Azores is in 17, so let's see if we can find that. And this is one of them. And this will be a shot of the cove that we always look at. And there it is during daylight, fairly calm seas. That looks really nice. That is in the Azores. And then, of course, let's see if we can add the other one here. Computer is What? Piggy licorice? Licious. Piggy-licious. Okay, Piggy. Piggy, are you okay? Just asking, okay? Just double checking. Anyway, let's see. This is the other one. Of course, you can see Pico Mountain or Pico Volcano in the far side there, and of course the harbor and so on. And that is pretty cool. Okay, I just got a weird email in here, and I kind of have to look at this. Okay, why'd they do that? Refund policy. We have issued a refund for $3.14 on your Visa. And I wonder why. I wonder why. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. I tried to buy a membership for someone as a test yesterday, and apparently I got a refund for it today. This is a little odd and weird. Maybe it didn't get handed out, and that's why I got a refund. Who knows? Anyway, that picture there is what we are seeing at the Azores. Well, that's what we seen earlier during the day, but let's turn those off, and we will get onto the other stuff. You can see Pico Island's lights over there on the other side. Pretty cool. And let's take a look at the next shot here, and things are still reloading. There we go, and there's the cove that we had looked at, and we see a little boat out there, and the water looks fairly shiny, telling us it's not very bad seas out. And of course we see some stars and this funny shaped object. That is the moon, and very, very cool. So not bad looking there at the Azores right now. Pretty clear skies. There are some clouds we can see, but nothing major. And that is, it looks nice. I think it's, that might be a sailboat or something. Couple of masts up there and some lights on them. Halloween decorations. Anyway, let's see if it'll reload this. And there is our, gonna make that bigger. There's our Sao George Island, Pico Island here, the map, and of course this is primarily for Sao George only for that earthquake, and we have only one earthquake today that it came up at 21:42, and that was a 2.1. And that is all we've seen on Sao George. Let's go over and look at the other map, and I'll have to no, I won't have to refresh. It did it all on its own. So there are some other quakes in the area though that were not on that island. They were elsewhere. We see this one down here 8 hours ago, 2.4. And when we click on it, it tells us it was only 1 kilometer down, and that is from, what was it, 1608 was the time on that one. Then we have one here on Fayal Island, and that is 2.0, and that happened at 4:15 a.m., and it was a surface quake. And then this guy here 10 hours ago, and that was from 1:41 p.m. 2.1, and that is a surface quake as well. And of course the other one that we just looked at here was 1 hour and 57 minutes ago, 2.1. What are they saying for depth right on the surface as well? So that is pretty cool, pretty awesome. That's what's happening in the Azores. So, and again, for those who aren't familiar with the area, this is Portugal over here, the Eurasian plate, African plate, and that is the North American plate. And there we go, you can see Newfoundland and Nova Scotia and that kind of stuff in there as well, and England and Ireland. So anyway, let's go back to this shot. I'm going to switch that back so I can find it later, and we will move on to our next one, and that's going over to Mexico. Popocatépetl, gray screen for the most part, but that is what the clouds that we're seeing right now. Let's get that quality of the clouds up a little bit. There we go. And it wasn't very good all day, but you know, they had those darn things in there. You couldn't see much other than earlier in the morning, of course, what was it, 11:41? That's kind of what the view was. Well, we really didn't see any major eruptive activity. At least I couldn't find anything when I was scanning through. And earlier in the morning, of course, it was a lot more visible. And if we go to about here, 8:01 a.m., oh, it went way back. 6:39 is what that looks like. And oh, they allowed, I see, okay. On some of them, when you click and go back just about the entire day, they add another 3 or 4 hours to it. And this one now goes almost 15 hours back. And that was from 3:50 a.m. So pretty cool. And that throws me for a loop once in a while. But hey, it's something that's actually a good feature. I like that. You're in tune with Dutch sense. No. Well, I know of who he is, or I've seen that, but not really in tune with him. And let's see, right there is where I want to be. And you see a little bit of a plume there, but nothing major. And again, it was, like I say, it's been fairly quiet at Popocatépetl. And there's your morning shot from 7:14 a.m. Really nothing major happening there right now. Let's take a look at the other camera, and maybe it will show something, but I don't think there was. Again, clouds on this angle a little bit, but really nothing to report. So it's hard to talk about a volcano when there's nothing there. Let's talk about volcano gray colors, right? This is live, of course. This is Fuego down in Central America, and Fuego too had cloud issues, and we know, you know, the whole area there is all getting all kinds of different clouds and storms going through. 'Tis the season, I guess. And that's what it is. And there you can actually see the top of the volcano peeking out before it disappeared again. And let me see, there was a little tiny eruption in between here somewhere, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. It was just a very small puff. Let's leave that one alone. And earlier in the day, it looked kind of like this. And oh, here, this one might work. And there you can see something popping out of there. Let's see if we can improve that a little bit quality wise. There we go. And you can definitely see some ejecta, if you will, and that is a pretty darn gray stuff, so a lot of tephra material in there, and that is what we've got. In Morocco, and they specialize in what? Grenadine milk, which is like a lovely strawberry milkshake and strawberry and coconut cake. Okay, Storm Chaser, don't get me hungry. Yeah, these are dark ghosts. I don't know. They're definitely some output of ash there. So we got to be careful how we say that. There was another one here, roughly, I believe. Yeah, we'll back that one up just a little bit so we can see it pop out. And Yeah, right about there. If we let that go, um, again, really not as intense as what it was doing before. Nighttime, it seemed to do a lot more than what it was doing during the day. And I don't know if it's just a visual appearance because we could see that so much. Um, it makes a big difference. Anyway, I'm show you some of the nighttime footage. I did do a capture on some of this, and we'll let that one play. And you can, it's a time lapse, of course, so you can see. And these were in fairly quick succession, these blasts that were coming out of there. And then it'd take a little bit of a lull, and then all of a sudden it'd go again. So pretty cool. And some of the ejector was actually flying out of there pretty well. And so I kind of like that. That wasn't bad. There you go. A couple of big splashes. And I'm sure if you would have been there taking pictures, you would have seen it in wonderful reddish colors of bacon going down the hill, of course, which I would love to see. So, yep, some of them are pretty awesome, and we do like that. Making a mountain, yes, it is getting taller. And I don't know if it's gotten any taller. The book still indicates there 12,346 feet. So we'll see if it's grown, and it possibly has. Who knows? And there, switched to daytime, and puffed a few times, and that's where we end that video. But right now, what we're looking at is, of course, volcano gray. And we'll leave that be. We'll pop over to our next one. And that, of course, is Merapi. And again, Merapi really not making us happy with the efforts it has been putting out or not putting out. Let's see if I can find where that darn screen is. It's here. Oh, there it is. I got it. Anyway, and that is interesting to see. This is, of course, from a different direction than what we're seeing on this shot here. And quite frankly, that's a much clearer picture. And you do see something right up there in the nest or of the caldera. And I'm wondering if that is actually lava sitting there. Hard to tell in that shot, unfortunately. And I really can't make that one that much bigger. But we'll maybe take a look later. Anyway, sliding back a bunch again, that one too had some issues of time of day issues with the clouds and so on. And that looked pretty darn red. That was, what time was that? 4:57 a.m. is what that was looking like. And I don't know if they've got that camera tweaked to the point where it's really not showing properly. Even looked purplish earlier, and that was what we were seeing, and that was at 446 or 416, 446. Hard to see on that little number pad there. Anyway, that's kind of what it looked like, and then prior to that, lots of volcano gray. And let's see, this shot here might do a bit better. Yes, I see that. Thank you, Piggy. I definitely see that. A lot of red and Pepsis. And we'll switch to the break time. And before we go, though, we'll look at this wonderful shot. And this, of course, is Ruapehu. But that shot really isn't impressive. This one will be a little bit better for you. And let's get it on there. There's Ruapehu, and that was from earlier, their morning. So all awesome. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, leave it there, and I am going to go for the break. I'm going to put that back on current. There we go. That's what it looks like right now in New Zealand. And we'll throw this back over to the canned lava. And I'm out of Pepsi. Oh, well, just ask for one. They'll send it to you right away. Anyway, for those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please help us out. Of course, we're trying to get over that 100 mark. And also, if you're new and you have not yet subscribed, or you're sitting on the sidelines, you want to get in there and chat, you do have to be subscribed for at least 1 minute to be able to chat in the chat box. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I am going to take a 5 or 6 minute break. And when we come back from the break, we'll have some bacon seeds. And then we'll continue on with our wonderful show. And thanks, everyone, and I'll be back. there we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you are watching VolcanoX live stream. And right now, of course, on the screen is canned lava from back in August 12th of the Siggy Fisher. Welcome backs from wonderful people. Kevin Williams says welcome back, everyone. And of course Leo and Oh Mummy of Hamsters and Piggy saying oink oink. Talk, okay. And Kevin Williams and Sue and Sasha, thank you everyone, and Trevor. And Bananapus, you're leaving, and nah, you're all right. You're safe here. I don't eat octopus. Anyway, you're all good. Take care and have a good night, Bananapus. And anyway, let's get on to the bacon seeds, though, and maybe you want to stick around just for those. And let's get at it here. And of course, these were our little ghoulie ones from yesterday that we were looking at, where I don't know if they were carving that pumpkin or devouring that pumpkin, but they were. And anyway, we'll keep going with what we've got today. I think we're one less today, but that is okay. And here is a flashy one from Piggy, and that one looks pretty cool. And it blinks and stuff. That is awesome. I like it, and that is pretty. I love that bow on top of that pig's head, and the little glow in the eyeball is pretty awesome too. So spooktacular. It is spooktacular. Thank you, Piggy. And our next bacon seed is this one, and this is all dressed up and giddy up and go, and pretty awesome to see that one. And flashing spookiness, yep, we like that. And yeehaw, okay, and let's continue on. Ooh, I just got back from the car races, and boy, they were going, chasing that Cheerio around the track at 180 miles an hour. Those poor piggies are tired. They want some water, and they did catch the Cheerio though. That's all good. And there's a snake in his boot. Oh no snakes. Hang on, I didn't see the snake. Let's go back there for a second. I want to see. No, there's no snake. Never mind. Anyway, and that looks pretty awesome. And next one is this little wonderful looking piggy, and looking like it's trucking around. No boots on either, from the looks of things. And let's see, next one, our last one. This is our last one for today, and that's another one of these spooky ones. And that is the Wicked Witch of Kos. No? I don't know. Where's that one from? Wicked Witch of somewhere. Piggy, do they have Halloween in Kos? I'm just curious. I don't know if they do. Witchy Poo Piggy. Yeah, that is a Witchy Poo Piggy, all right. What if I was a pig? Yep. Spooky Witch Piggy. Definitely. Yes, Dr. Fox, it's celebrated in February. February? Well, if you travel to here, you could have it at the end of October, and then go back there and have it at the in February. That would be pretty cool. Anyway, And Henry thinks that might be from Iowa. I don't know. Could be. We never know. We never know. Anyway, let's get back to our volcano watching here, and let's see what we see over at Semeru, and we don't see a heck of a lot. I was actually looking through it while I was on the break there, and we don't have any views. It's volcano gray all the way through. We do see the guys racing through the puddles down here, and they're doing their thing, and it's still working, and apparently the water level did drop a bunch, but they're able to cross safely, which is all right. Anyway, this is one of those runoffs from Mount Semeru, and of course, this is also a place where you'll see some lahars going down if it gets really, really bad, and that you kind of want to watch out for. I'm surprised they don't have a bridge going over there somewhere, but hey, it is what it is infrastructure-wise, so I'm not going to worry about them. Let's pop over to Japan from here, and we'll take a look and see what Sakurajima is like today. And there we can see Sakurajima, 9:13 a.m. There in Japan, and if we back that up a little bit, we kind of see it did kind of have some billowing. You can see a little bit in the background there. Early in the morning, just about 7 a.m. And of course, that is coming out of the volcano, so it is definitely still off-gassing, producing a lot of material, but every once in a while it throws out the darker material, which is containing a lot more of that tephra and stuff like that. This one at 612, you can see that it was a little bit darker cloud, more ash included in what was being ejected, so definitely still erupting, doing its thing. I did go back quite a ways. I was hoping to catch some more lava boulders being thrown out, but really didn't see anything coming along, although it was a nice clear night there, and you see the stars in the background, stuff like that. Looked pretty awesome. So Piggy, you can can't move. Sam Hearn, put the drink down. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, earlier at about midnight, you see that it was still showing a fairly healthy cloud sitting on top of it. Everything else is clear, so you know that's from the volcano itself. And that is kind of what we were seeing. Putting that back to live, of course, this is what we've got right now, and it is pluming off fairly nicely. From a little bit of a distance, I see we missed the ice cream boat. It's there already and left. We'll check back on it later just to make sure we can get some ice cream for you guys. Let's back that up a little bit as well and see what it was looking like. And there you go, we can see a fairly decent plume coming out of that, and all lit up by the sun. If we go back in the wee hours, let's see, right about there, just as daybreak was happening, just right before 6 a.m. That's kind of what it was looking like. So not seeing as much activity there today as what we were before, with the a little bit more explosive eruptions. So pretty awesome. Yeah, we'll work on the ice cream boat. We'll make sure we get some ice cream. We gotta have that. Close up on the crater there at Sakurajima. That's kind of what we're seeing come out, and you can see there it is actually fairly dark. Material in there, so like, I mean, it's not nice clean fluffy stuff like the stuff up top here, so there is some heavier ash and stuff in there. Hey, Onefish26, welcome. And anyway, that's what we're seeing there right now. Let's move on and have a look at ASO, and let's see if we can improve that just a tad. There we go. ASO-san, and nice and clear there at ASO, and we can see the wonderful caldera, and of course it is steaming off some of that liquid that it has inside the crater. And of course it's very similar to some of the other cones that we know of, like our other one is called Taal down in the Philippines. You see a lot of steam coming out of the lake because that floor in there is hot. And of course this one is as well, even though this is rated as a green right now, so minimal or no activity. It's still a warm underneath there, and it will stay like that for a long time till the next eruption. And of course I tried to have a look at Suwanoshijima. They still don't have their camera back up, so we'll kind of leave that be, and we're going to leave it on this one so we can find it later for our ice cream boat. Moving on, let me see if we got Taal is there or not. And where is Taal? That's not Taal. Let's put that one back there. And where are we? Taal. Ooh, I found Taal. And there is Taal. And Taal has got some weather there as well, but also a very noticeable plume going up, and you can definitely see that. So that is indicating that we are getting some heating coming out of that lake in the Taal crater, and of course that is right inside Taal Lake, and pretty awesome. Let's see if I can get that back to live. Why is that not on live? Okay, something going on there. It doesn't want to go live on me. Now it's buffering. All right, maybe they've got some problems with that stream. We'll see if that'll pop up. Oh, wonderful. Let's watch some commercials, right? No, thank you. We'll go back to that afterwards. There is Yellowstone National Park, and of course Yellowstone is frozen. Let's there we brushed across it, but still got the wrong thing. I'm trying to do too many things here at once here. There, I got Taal back, and yeah, it still looks the same and live. So yeah, we're not going to worry about having to go back there. Why did that stop again? There we go. Anyway, they are panning that camera around looking at some of those other geysers that are popping up on occasion. And I don't think we've ever seen this view before. And that is looking kind of westish. And now they're swinging to the north. And come on, swing back over to the other way. And we want to look at Old Faithful. Anyway, over 500 active geysers there in Yellowstone. So if you want to go to that link, you can take a look there on that site. They do have maps and all kinds of neat stuff that you can look at. And of course, this stream is running on there. So that is from them at Yellowstone National Park. Let's pop over to Hawaii. And of course, I had to reboot my computer today. Not by want, but by force. Windows updates. And unfortunately, I lost a very nice neon looking shot from last night. So we are stuck with what we've got. And of course, there is the lava pond that is inside Kilauea's crater. And you can see it there. It is crusted over right now. We do see one spot there and a little one here that are lit up. And of course, those are areas that we have the lava actually draining out of the lava pond. The lava's coming in over here at this end where the lava tube is. And that, of course, you can kind of see the patterns that it creates. But anyway, the bubbles that come up from the gases as it drains out, they break the surface crust, and that's why we can actually see it. The toe area, nothing visible in there at all. We do notice these cracks are getting bigger though, and that is something we're going to continue to watch out for. There's also some cracks going across in here, which is kind of makes a guy wonder what the heck is going on. There we go. That looks a little bit more lavally, and that is the current picture right now. And you can see some drain points here, there, and these spots here as well. So same thing as before, the gases are bubbling up. Again, we don't see any glow coming out of the toe area. It really does make you wonder. Hermione, you get some sleep, and you and Fluffy both. So good night, Hermione. Take care, okay? And next picture, of course, is a little further away. You can see the primary vent right there, and the lava pond toe area, and of course some of the extra smokers. We still see that extra smoke coming up from fairly high on the side of the caldera here, and then some other smoke spots in the back areas as well. Let's refresh that one, take a look at what it is now, and quite smoky from what we see, so hard to see anything down there. Again, primary vent throwing out a lot of that smoke. And again, in the background here you can see some smokers as well, and this one looks a little weird now. Not sure what's going on around the edges. Maybe we've got some lava coming up, who knows. Let's pop to the other side. This camera wasn't working, or was it? Yeah, we were stuck on yesterday's shot. Let's see if it'll have a new shot for us now. Nope, still yesterday's shot, so that didn't work. And on the thermal, this one was from 11/28 from today, so that is working. And primary vent here, the little hornito where the lava tube is right there, and the lava tube would be feeding into the lava pond at this end, and that's what we're seeing there. You do see a little bit of light here in the toe area, but again, still not as much as what we used to see. It used to all look bright, just like what's in the lava pool here. And looking around the edges, we are still seeing some of that lighter material in there. And of course, the circle here where the darker stuff is, that is all kind of thick lava that has cooled off and really created an island on there. Very similar to what this pig island is, that's been there forever, or at least for a long time. And let's see if we refresh this, and yep, that is up to date. So that is a current picture. Lava pond looks a little bit different, a little cooled off. Level is still quite low, and again, you can see the little hornito there, and the primary vent is there, not well lit at all in this shot. And again, a little darker around the edges, possibly because of a bunch of smoke in the way. Anyway, let's take a look at some earthquakes that happened there, and then we'll go for another break. And let's zoom into the Hawaiian Islands. There's the Hawaiian Island chain out in the middle of the Pacific. And let's zoom in here, and oh, looks like we've got extras up here on Mauna Loa. Anyway, let's zoom in down here, and this will be, of course, the Pahala area, and this is getting out a little further towards Luihi Seamound. But anyway, all the depths for these ones here are between about 26 and 36 kilometers from the Pahala stuff. So that's kind of what we got. So I won't repeat the depths for now. Anyway, you'll see them on the bottom corner of your screen anyway if you like looking at it. Anyway, 1606 was the time for this 2.8 here. Then we had this one 1.7, fairly new, from 1752. Then also this 1.8 from 4:09 a.m. And let's get on to the land. 2.5 from yesterday at 1944. And this one here, or hang on, was that yesterday? Yeah, that is yesterday's. This one is from yesterday as well at 1841. And this is from today at 6:27 a.m., 2.0. This is 1.9 from yesterday at 2200. This guy is from today at 3:20 a.m., 2.0. And then we have another 2.1 from yesterday at 2212. And then this, another one from yesterday, 22:44 was the time on it yesterday, 2.2. And let's grab some of these other ones here. 2.0, and that's yesterday again, 2057. And this guy is a 1.9 from today at 12:34. And then we have a 2.4 from 3:59 a.m. This guy is a 1.9 from 8:27. And then a 2.7, a little bit bigger, 5:47 a.m. And then we have 2.0 from 13:18. And that is our quakes in the Pahala area. Let's have a look up here and see what it's doing up on Mauna Loa. And we are seeing some, hopefully, new quakes. This one was from 11:03, 1.4 kilometers above sea level, and that is a 2.0. A 1.8 from 10:43, 1.1 kilometer above sea level. This is a 2.5 from 1:02 a.m., 2.1 kilometers above sea level. In other words, just about at the top of the mountain. And then we have a 2.0 from 14:57, that's right at sea level. Then we have a 2.0 from 11:59, that's 400 meters above sea level. Then we have a 1.8 from 21:43 yesterday at 1.7 kilometers above sea level. 1.8 there from 11:02. And today 900 meters above sea level. Freshest one here from 1821 at their time, and 900 meters above sea level for that 1.7. 1.8, 7:24 a.m. And that is 2.6 kilometers above sea level, very high up in the mountain. And then we have another 1.8 here. Yesterday's 18:35. And I know it's break time, so we'll just about finish with this, so we can do that right away. And this one is, where am I here? 1.8, 21:44 from yesterday, 800 meters above sea level. And sliding down the hill a little bit, we see two more, 1.8. 5:43 a.m., 8.4 kilometers below sea level on that guy, on that 1.8. And then we have a 2.0 there, 700 meters above sea level from 7:28 a.m. Then we also have a 2.4 at 10:58 a.m., 300 meters above sea level, and that is right in our crater. And that is, of course, Kilauea. And that is pretty cool. So I will leave it there, close that off, and what we will do is check and see if we got anything. Oh, no, hang on, that's not right. Trying to fix that Stromboli thing. How about that one? Make it go. Come on, let's see if we got, oh, we got some glow there at Stromboli. All right, the clouds have lifted a little bit so we can see some of this wonderful stuff, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to take a break for about 5 minutes, so please don't go away. For all those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please do give it a quick shot. And we are at 98. I think we can get over that 100 mark today. That would really be awesome. And also, if you're new and you haven't yet decided to subscribe, please do consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit that bell notification if you feel we've earned it, of course, and that is totally up to you. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away, and keep smiling, play nice in the lava, and don't be sliding down the hill, and that is all full of lava down on the bottom. You're going to hurt yourself. Anyway, I'll be back. Keep smiling. And we are back. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you on board today. And thank you for the welcome backs from Sue and One Fish, who thinks the piano is out of tune, but he doesn't realize he's underwater. He needs to pop his head up. It's fine. And thank you, Leo. All good. And glad that you guys are still hanging in there. I see we got over that 100 mark. Thank you very kindly, everyone, for hitting that like button. And Sharon Stewart says, I hear you, DrFox2000. And awesome. Anyway, the clouds did kind of let up a little bit there and at Stromboli, and we are seeing a little bit more of that lava coming out. And that is kind of nice, but it is still quite cloudy and weathery there, so doing its thing. And I see my bunny has finally arrived. Need to get the bunny on the zoomed in camera view here for all those people watching the bunny stream. And yep, it's curly, so awesome. Okay, well, it's a honky-tonk piano, so they are usually a bit off on purpose. Yeah, that's true, One Fish. They do have them, and that's from all the beer spilled on the piano. That's why it sounds like that. Okay. Well, I've never been in a honky-tonk, and I guess that would make sense to me as well. Anyway, let's carry on with what we were looking at. We did have a few people take off. I do understand it's late in some places. People have things to do, so no worries on that. We want to finish up with our earthquakes. And we'll do that very quickly as soon as I can get to the right map. There we go. And of course, there's our worldwide USGS map. And we'll take a look at a few and some that are a little more concerning to me here. We do see this 4.4, and that is Pistol River is near Pistol River over here somewhere. And that's not where Pistol Pete is from, though. And anyway, he's from just over there by Southgate. Anyway, just had to throw that in. Never mind. We're still seeing everything pretty loose here in the San Andreas fault area, as well as the stuff going up here by Washington and Vancouver, so we know that subduction is still happening from the Juan de Fuca plate without any intrusions, and it's sliding along nicely. If it stops happening, if we stop seeing these quakes in here, then I would start to worry, because then tension is building up. Same thing with along here, the San Andreas fault, and if we see those stop, there's definitely something going on. Anyway, another one, 4.7 down here in Mexico, just right on the land. We've seen a lot there recently. Going further south, South America, Chile 4.0, and then New Zealand had a few of them, a 5.1 on the South Island, I do believe. No, it's actually out in the water. And there it is. So that's a little bit of a bigger one. 166 kilometers down, 8:03 a.m. There. Hopefully that didn't rattle too many cages. And going here, 4.8, Kermadec Ridge. And that's the only one we see in this area. Then sliding up a little bit more. Solomon Islands area, 4.9, and that is 10 kilometers down from 11:30 their time. And then we have 4.6 also in that same area, Solomon Islands. And then the big one here, 6.4 in Papua New Guinea. That was mentioned earlier, and that is pretty big. So We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully they won't get too many more aftershocks. We do see another. Actually, when did that happen? At 1620, it was 71.3 kilometers down. This other one here was from yesterday at 1920 at 10 kilometers down. Really not anything to worry about there, I think. We do see one here in Indonesia, and that is a 4.5 from yesterday at 1955, 10 kilometers down on that guy. Then Luolatok, no, not Luolatok, Ibu and Dakono would be right about here, but just north of that we see a couple. 4.6 from 1216 today at 54.9 kilometers down, and a 4.4 from 1341, and that happened at 82 kilometers down there. And of course, sliding up Taiwan, another quake there, 4.9 from 6:57 a.m. Those guys really get rocked. I don't know if I want to live there with that kind of shaking going on. Japan, nothing new there other than up here in the islands, Kuril Islands, and that is at 5.0 happening up there at 20 minutes after midnight of their time. Sliding over a bit more, we see India had a quake of 4.9, and that is kind of unusual to see one here. Normally we see it in the mountains, of course, because this plate is subducting underneath the Eurasian plate, so Indian plate going north, and seeing one here a little bit odd, but not going to worry about that one. And then down here we see another one that is not too far from Reunion Island there. That's Reunion Island, and this one, of course, 4.6. I don't think they would have felt it that far over, but 7:40 a.m., 10 kilometers down on that guy. And that's basically our quakes for the most part. When we look at that, I do want to bring it over to the other map again, and I think I need to refresh that one just to make sure that it is up to date, and we'll make it a full screen here, and that way we can look at it a little bit better. And we see up here by Svalbard, we do still see those quakes that happened there before this from yesterday, 4.0, 3.2. That's actually from today at 7:16 this morning, 10 kilometers down. And what do we got here? That's yesterday's 3.6, and yesterday's 3.8, and then of course there was a little one in there as well, which I don't think we can hit without being zoomed in. 2.2 from yesterday as well. Jan Mayen Island right here, 2.0, that was yesterday's as well. And then we see in Iceland, of course, that 3.6, we seen those. So they have a 3.4, 3.6 there. 1 and 2 also look down here and just see, I seen this one out here, 4.1, that was yesterday's as well. And don't think that there was anything major going on with that. 3.6 right there, yesterday's. This also 2.9 yesterday. That looks like a double one there. And 2.2. So all of yesterday's quakes are really nothing major there. And I don't know if we see any other ones. We do see this one here still from Alberta, 3.0. From yesterday, and again, I didn't know that happened. That is interesting, and let's actually zoom in and see where they are. Okay, they're near Grand Prairie. That's interesting. Out in the middle of nowhere. Doesn't make sense. And of course, I'm here in Edmonton, and Grand Prairie, that's quite a ways away, so there's no way I would have felt that. That's like 350, 400 kilometers almost, so not going to feel that through the ground. And I see a few more here in northern, this would be a part of Alaska, right in this area between Alaska, Panhandle as well as British Columbia. We see those, and 3.7 fair size. So interesting, and we got that 4.4 off the coast of California, and there we go. That is our earthquakes for today. Let's pop over to the other map over here for the Canary Islands. We're going to have a quick peek at theirs, and they are showing one up here as a new one. 2.6 happened at 22:35 today, and that is the latest one. And let's see what we have on La Palma from today. Nothing, and these are all yesterday's. So we have no new quakes in La Palma, and that is pretty quick and quiet. Gonna refresh this guy again. I did refresh it before the show, but we want to make sure that we have it up to date. And there we go. Let's slide over. So we do see now that we have the two volcanoes showing in Iceland. Of course, Askja and Grimsvatn. They're both there, both a yellow. And then we have Seo George and Terceira showing in the Azores. And that has been there for a while, so that's kind of cool. Nothing really new anywhere that I see here. We still have our home reef volcano still definitely erupting, or a red. White Isle volcano still an orange, and Taupo definitely not a big concern right now. Hopefully it's just going to go away. It won't have any more activity, and that'll be good for them. And let's see, really nothing new in the Papua New Guinea area or in the Indonesian area. Still Luolatak, Raung, and then Semeru, Merapi, and of course Krakatau being there. Still seeing Taal as an orange, and Nishi no Shima. There we go. We'll get it out, and that is still an orange as well. Suwanosi Jima and Sakura Jima are still showing as pretty normal there, and no change up here on the Kamchatka Peninsula. Still Ibiko, Alade, and then Karimsky, Bezimiani, and Chevalish doing their thing. And nothing really new in the Aleutian Islands either. And we'll leave it at that and not worry about it. The Piton de la France, no, La Formaise volcano. Anyway, Reunion Island. Okay, my French is no good. Anyway, that's still there. And of course, here, if we zoom in, this is actually two volcanoes in the Congo, and neither name I can pronounce, so I'm not going to try. But they are doing their thing, and one is orange, one is red. So activity continues, and Erta still there. Etna still showing as an orange, a volcano showing as a yellow, but it has increased off-gassing as of late, and I'm wondering if that's because of Stromboli's eruptions that have been going on. Campi still very quiet, so that is all we've got there on our wonderful map, and we'll take a look at our weather next. And let's see if we can find the weather map. Oh, it's way over on the other end now. And I'm going to see if we can get on there. So, of course, here's our SO2 map. And look at what we've got here for a weird pattern with all that SO2 that blown, that was sitting here, and it's finally kind of made its way out. And this is where it ended up. And I'm hoping that we're going to see that rain wash it out. You can see some of the places where you've got storms happening, and that's helping to get it out of the air. So pretty awesome, pretty cool. Looking at some of the circulation patterns, so you can see the jet stream here going up and down, and then of course it is curling around. We have a nasty storm happening in northern Ontario right now, but this is SO2, so we'll not worry about that. We see that everything from Mexico is going back into the Pacific, as well as Central America and most of the upper portions of South America. Bottom end is still blowing off the other way, and we are seeing the Chilean stuff go over. It doesn't look like it's in Paraguay so much. It does have a streak going through Uruguay, and of course some down into the bottom end of Brazil. And again, people pollution for the most part from those other ones. And real quick peek here, not seeing too much coming off of White Isle volcano. Leo definitely doesn't have his barbecue going, and the refineries are not putting out as much either. And we definitely see still some coking going on there in the coking plants. And of course, Tofua out here, very little coming from it. It kind of simmered down a bit. We still see our Vanuatu areas doing their thing. And of course in Papua New Guinea, where we had that big quake, still looks quiet and normal. Ibu and Dakono still working together and putting out their stuff. Luolatok, Semeru, Marapi, and Krakatoa still doing their thing as well. And a lot of people pollution from those other places and going all the way up into China. And looking at what has drifted north here from Sakurajima, so a lot of that is drifted up, and we are still seeing some come off of Suwanosejima, but not as much. And of course up here on Kamchatka Peninsula, there's the SO2 coming off of the peninsula itself. And hopefully most of it will get washed out in these stormy seas up there, or stormy weather. Seeing this down here, and that I kind of looked at it this morning. I'm going, okay, that's got to be from South Africa, and that's basically where it's coming from. And it got blown out. So South Africa producing a lot of SO2. And here in DR Congo, we're still seeing from the two volcanoes there, as well as the coking plants. And I think we're just about there. So Urta Ale is still throwing out some stuff, and we can see where it lives. Again, the stuff from Saudi Arabia and the refineries, Iran, Iraq, they all are refining oil, so that's what we see. A lot easier of the stuff coming off of our wonderful Stromboli here. Stromboli, not too much. I guess with the lava coming out, it's not throwing as much gas. And then, of course, Etna as well is pretty good. And Europe, all right, a little bit in England. We see a bunch over on top of Germany, a lot more in Poland, and then going down on the bottom end of Sweden as well. Very little, but some coming off of Iceland, down here in the Reykjavik area, and not surprising if they've got their aluminum smelter working. I do see it is time for me to take a break, and what we'll do is we'll take that break. I'll get this ready, and that is ready to go. I'm going to put you back on some canned lava if No, Stromboli's still going. So I'll leave you on Stromboli for my little break. And once we get done with the break, we'll go back and finish off the show with our temperature and precipitation, and we'll go from there. I have forgotten what you said, Grandma B. What did you forget? I'm going to say good night and good day, everyone. Have to go help settle our dementia. Okay, dementia person. Okay, Grandma B, and you have a very good night, and take care, and all the best to you, and hope everything settles down and simmers down for you, and you won't have to go out on the lawn and have a talk with your stuff out there. Hopefully that'll be good. Anyway, I'm going to go take that break, you guys, and if you haven't hit that like button already, do consider hitting it if you're enjoying the show. And also, if you are new and you haven't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button if you feel we've earned it, of course. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm going to take another little bit of a break, and I will be back after the break, and we'll do the weather stuff. So that'll be cool. All right. Yeah, cool. Get it? Cool? Cool? Nah, never mind. It's all right. Bad joke. I'll be back, you guys. Here comes some music. Thanks. Stick around. And the microphone is back on, and Storm Chaser plugging his ears and drinking beer and enjoying the dancing girls. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board. Of course, you're watching VolcanoX live stream, and I'm your host, DrFox2000. And thank you, Sue and Kate, and Stromboli is sure active and looking beautiful. Yep, it is definitely doing its thing. Thank you, Sasha and Sharon Stewart saying, I hear you. All right. Hey, while we're doing that, I want to scare you a little bit. And of course, I did set up my display up on the roof with my big spider here today. And I figured let's show what it actually looks like. This is the best time to see it, where you can actually see the sparkliness of the spider there and all that nice stuff. So pretty cool. And that is up on the roof. And yep, a bunch of bones and skeletons and all that nice stuff. And I'm surprised the battery-operated pumpkin light is still working. So pretty awesome. Anyway, that is the big spider, and for those who are not quite sure how big that spider is actually from leg tip to leg tip about 16 feet in diameter. That would be slightly over 3 meters in diameter, and it's probably about 2.5 meters long. So that is a fair-sized little thing there, and of course it's got some spooky lights in there as well, and that is just figured I'd share that with you guys for those who haven't gone over and looked at it already. Anyway, let's get back to our weather. Giant glowing spider, ooh, love it. Okay, and yeah, it's quite neat. I've had it for a few years already, and I do like it, and I think people get a kick out of that, so it's pretty awesome. Anyway, that's the entirety of my Halloween display, and we'll carry on with our weather, and looking at what we see here in North America. We see up top we've got some heavy circulation up in the Arctic oceans. Greenland, very, very cold, minus 35, 36 in some places. Too cold, minus 38 there. Don't want to be there. Anyway, we're going to get that here in Edmonton soon enough. Looking at what we see, though, Alaska cooled off quite a bit, and most of the northern areas here, Yukon, Northwest Territories, and none of it are a lot colder. Looking at what we see here, a little bit of that cool temp moving in the northern British Columbia. We do still see that streak of warm out here, and that we're fortunately in right now. Here in Edmonton, but I can guarantee you this colder stuff will start migrating in down here as well. This big low out here in Manitoba, Ontario border area, definitely pulling down that cold all the way down past Chicago and those areas, and also keeping Ontario a lot cooler. Hence only about 10-11 degrees in Toronto. Whereas Montreal a little bit warmer with 12-13 degrees, and even looking at what we've got here, we see the cold again here in northern Quebec and Newfoundland Labrador area, fairly cool, and Newfoundland definitely looking single digits all the way, and seeing double digits, so low teens in Nova Scotia, so a little bit better for Sue, and thank you, Sue. Looking at what we've got in the U.S. here, western portions of the U.S. actually showing some nice fall temperatures, which is really good. A little bit cooler in the higher elevations, of course, and places like Yellowstone National Park are going to end up with a high sitting right on top of them. And that is cooling off a little bit there as well. Some of the places single digits, and going down here, looking at Denver and stuff like that, they're a little cooler as well. But the western side doesn't look too bad. Death Valley probably coming in at about 33, 34 degrees. Thanks, Sue. And looking at Phoenix, 31, 32 possibly, and not too bad. New Mexico still holding some heat as well, except for getting a little cold in some of the spots that are lower down, or higher up, I should say. Looking at Texas, Texas too has cooled off a little bit, definitely in the northern areas, but in general, still not so bad there. So that's all right. Moving along, looking at Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, and Georgia, all about the same. A little bit in the north where it gets a little colder. Florida still holding some reasonable temperature, but also a little on the cooler side today. And South Carolina 19-20 degrees, North Carolina, with the exception of the stuff over in the Ozarks, we're seeing like the Appalachian Mountains, of course, higher up, so a little cooler, but the rest of the area not bad. So Grandma B will be not bad there with her weather. And looking up what we've got here, going up through Virginia and those areas, not so bad. New York still coming in at 19, Boston showing about 17 today, which is really nice all along here, and that warm air pushing up and through is definitely helping them out a whole bunch. Looking at Carl down here, and this, it was here and it moved out to here. I don't know where it's going to go. This thing is just sitting here and churning, and that, of course, is giving a lot of clouds to Mexico as well as Central America, and then again they have more lows down here recirculating all those clouds. So that's what we've got there. Looking at Brazil and the Amazon, Colombia and Peru, and not bad. Venezuela is still holding a lot of nice temperatures there as well. Paraguay fairly warm. Northern end of Argentina is warm, but as soon as you get down along the coast here, this low probably responsible for a lot of it. Well, actually, hang on, there's a high in here drawing up some of that cold air, and unfortunately a little bit too cold there in Uruguay. Buenos Aires coming in at about 12 degrees Celsius, and zooming out a little bit more, we see another high on this side. Not sure what that's going to continue to create. This high here definitely throwing some colder temperatures on the eastern side of the North Island, and we're seeing that there, but the western side still holding some heat, and kind of a mixed bag all over the South Island, and temperature wise it's a little wonky, wonky like a wonky donkey perhaps. And there we go to Tasmania. We are seeing some nicer temperatures for them, and that is actually really good there, except for it's going to be seeing that ridge right there, the pressure ridge. It's going to be some nasty stuff coming through. And remember, we had a lot of storm stuff in here yesterday. 15, 16-ish there in Melbourne for Leo, and Adelaide coming around 14, 15 as well, sliding up a little bit more. 20, 21 in Sydney. I think Sydney is starting to look nice. And Oz was out suntanning in her bird hiding undies there. I've seen that. I actually have to make a comment on that. I watched a bunch of the what do you call them, Australian border guys, customs and stuff, and when they have a lot of flights coming in from places, and I'm not trying to stereotype or pick on anyone, but a lot of them that are coming from Taiwan and China and even Korea, those areas, when they have the people coming in, they seem to bring all kinds of weird things, like lots of different foods, and they try to smuggle all these different things in, and seeds and all kinds of weird things. And they, on the show there, they've caught people bringing in birds, and literally they had birds in their underwear, that they were wearing. And I'm like, what? Come on, you guys, those poor animals, anyway. And it was interesting shows, but I never realized that people would do that. And I myself just, yeah, that's it exactly. Budgie smugglers. And yeah, stinky fruit and budgie smugglers. And that is kind of what we've got. Anyway, going up a little bit at Bangkok, looks like 27, 28. Thanks, Sue. And we see that they've got a low here, a low out here in the Philippine Sea, and that other low out there. And that's a triple whammy of storms going through that area. Japan looks a lot cooler today up in the northern portions all the way down just past Tokyo, definitely in the mid to possibly low teens depending on where you are. Southern end looks a little bit warmer, so not so bad there. Kamchatka Peninsula very cold, not as cold as it's going to be, but it's cold now. And of course, they've got a high sitting here. That high is actually throwing some warm air back up and trying to throw that cold air back down. So we'll see what happens there. This system here in the north of the Aleutian Islands still sitting there that low, and that is going to cause some problems for them. Looking at what we see here in India, pretty abnormal, probably some storms going on there as well. And the Indian Ocean has got some different currents going on right now. So circulation here, I'm not sure if these are going to turn into bigger storms or what. We do see a system right in here as well. And Madagascar, not so bad. Western side, fairly warm. Eastern side, the shore area is not bad, but in the higher elevations, a little cooler. And we're seeing the same thing for down here in South Africa. Cape Town is a little bit cooler than it was yesterday, coming in at about 15 degrees. But for the general part of looking at Africa, it is getting warmer, and that is not bad for the southern regions. Up here in the Sahara Desert areas, it is warmer, but we can see some of that cold bleeding in from up top. Same thing goes for up in the, well, it looks like Turkey is kind of the cutoff line right there, and into Iran. And that is very, very interesting to see how that allows that cold to come in. And of course, that is a mountain range in there, so of course it's going to be a little colder. Piggy's area, and Piggy is probably coming in about 19, 20 degrees, something like that. We'll check that real quick, and we'll see, and hopefully it'll be a reasonable temperature for nighttime, and 20 degrees Celsius, so not bad. Sliding over a little bit more, and we see that nasty low here at the heel of the boot of Italy, and it is churning that weather up a little bit as well. Remember, we had that big storm sitting in here. We're going to see where that has gone. And there is, of course, Sicily, coastal areas looking pretty nice. Upper, higher elevations starting to really get cold. Up on Etna, we're probably seeing about 10 degrees Celsius or something like that. Not so bad. Better than seeing snow up there. And New Monkland, and again, coastal areas, quite nice. But looking at the higher uplands, if you want to call them that, or mountainous areas, they are cooling off a little bit more as well. Not so bad there. Looking at Milano, 14C, and that is all right. Into Spain and Portugal, relatively nice for nighttime temperatures. Nothing too out of kilter here, so looking good. And then bottom end of France, not bad there, going all the way up. Really pretty normal, a little bit cooler along the coast in some spots. Don't know why, but that's what we've got there. And Germany actually a little bit warmer than what it was before. Yesterday was a lot colder, so 12 in Munich, Cologne coming in at 12, Berlin 10, Hamburg probably about 12 as well, so not too bad. And then of course we've got here in Belgium, Luxembourg, about the same temperatures, 10, 11, 12 degrees. Not bad for this time of year. So a little bit cooler in the northern portions of Holland, but down in the other areas about the same as the rest of what we see there in Germany and so on. And looking at, again, same kind of thing up here in Denmark, a little cooler on that portion. But remember, we had those big storms coming through here, and that is probably why it's still a little cooler up there. But hey, it's Sweden, Stockholm, and 9 degrees. Oslo and Norway, also 9 right now. Looking at England, it depends on where you are, and looks like Wales is a little bit warmer. Up here in Scotland, a little bit cooler, and the coastal areas all seem to be enjoying a little bit of the Gulf Stream heat, which is really nice, which is going to keep them a little bit more sane, I think. And Old Monkland coming in 11, 12 degrees, 13 degrees, depending on where you're located again. But for the most part, not bad. And let's have a look at, oh boy, we've got some lows doing some nasty things. 3 of them in here, and Iceland is cold, and yeah, there. Ragnar's probably freezing at 0 degrees. Somebody turn on a volcano and warm it up there, please. And 2 degrees in Reykjavik, not good. Don't go there. Not now, anyway, unless you're planning to go skiing. You can go ski on Grimsvatn. Anyway, that is our temperatures. Let's have a look at precipitation around the world real quick. And, yep, nasty storm off the coast. Queen Charlotte Islands northward along the coast here. Sharon Stewart, if you're going to be here tomorrow, you can do the cold temps in Antarctica. I have to pick up my daughter from the airport. Oh, your daughter's bouncing back in? That is awesome. And anyway, we do see up here Yukon, Northwest Territories, a lot of snow up there. And then, of course, here's that storm system that I said was passing through Ontario. There's still the remnants of what was left over, and then more coming. We see Manitoba has got a bunch of snow happening all the way down, and that looks like that is even getting into Minnesota and North Dakota a little bit. Around the Great Lakes, a lot of stormy activity, a little bit better on the southern portions of Ontario, but not by much. Looking all the way up from the coast here, New York is getting some rain, Boston getting nailed, as well as Montreal, Quebec, and those areas. Looks dry out in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, just a little bit there. Newfoundland, not bad, and Newfoundland, Labrador, not bad. And let's continue on. Here's that jet stream. It's just kind of whooshing around, and it goes up and it goes down, and it gets out of there. Looking at what we've got in the United States, this is pretty easy right now. Majority of the U.S. does not have any storms, and the only thing we're seeing is down here in Texas, a few isolated smaller storms, and hopefully that'll dissipate. And we do see this off the coast down here in Miami, getting some rain and some storms. Don't know where this is going to end up yet. if that's going to move up and out along with the rest of that mess up the coast, or what it's going to do. And still wondering what Carl's going to do. And this is, it was here yesterday and slid over to here now, and it's still swirling away, so going to be interesting. Central America definitely getting a pile of rain, and that is kind of rainforesty areas. Same thing as what we're seeing here in our good old Amazon areas, and that includes all of Brazil, and of course we've got Venezuela, we've got Colombia, and what is this, Bolivia, and going into Paraguay all the way down here, and more stuff in Brazil, and looking down at the bottom end, and Chile is chilly again. Hopefully Chile will warm up. It's supposed to be getting springtime there for those guys. Moving over and taking a look at New Zealand, the South Island actually looks like it has no rain happening. North Island, the warmer area up top here, unfortunately, is getting rain. The other area is colder, so the rain area is warmer. And out here in Tonga and that area going into Fiji, we're seeing a bunch of small storms. We've got that low sitting there. And here's that weather system that just finished coming through. And we had mentioned the higher temperatures here in Tasmania. And of course, that ridge here, this is going to be interesting to see what happens with that rain, if it makes it all the way over to New Zealand or not. Looks like still a little bit of rain in Melbourne, but not too bad. And then, of course, Sydney, just on the edge of that as well as it passes by. And possibly going to get some rain there for Oz, and we'll see. They do have a high developing here, so that'll help with getting some heat back in, but the bottom end is going to continue to get some of that colder air. Perth has got nothing, and then of course we go over and take a look at what we have in our Malaysian, Indonesian, and Papua New Guinea areas, all that, and Philippines, and there we see all these different storm systems, and they are continuing to get bombarded. Off the coast of Japan, we're seeing this long streak of not so nice weather, and a little bit of rain coming down in some places, but the clouds that this generates is pretty nasty. And up in the Kamchatka area, we're seeing snow, and Aleutian Islands still getting some of that low weather or low system in here. That's been churning there for a little while, making things colder. And let's have a quick look. Indian Ocean, storm. It is the season for that there. A little bit on the western coast of Madagascar, not too bad. And of course, the rainforests here in Africa are continuing to be the way they are. And of course, we're zooming in here, and I'm hoping that this is going to drift this way and give Piggy some rain. And they desperately need some water out there in Kos, and all of these islands really they need some wonderful moisture. Northern portions of Greece though aren't getting it, and then of course here you see that weather system that has just passed through our wonderful Etna, and that was from why we can't see anything there. So pretty awesome. Same thing goes for, it should get better for Stromboli now, since this is starting to move off and go away. And looking at New Irish Monkland, rain in the north, nothing in the south, and no rain in Spain or Portugal. France has got some rain. Germany, bottom end, a little heavier, some storms, but nothing really, really heavy. And the rest of Germany looking not bad. A couple little spots in Luxembourg and Belgium here, but fog, looks like more fog in Holland, going up a little bit more fog in the Netherlands, and there we see that storm system that's basically dissipated and bringing that rain up all the way into Finland now. Not too much down here, but still some there. But we'll see more go that way. Up in the northern areas here, not too bad. And remember, the coastal area looked really nasty yesterday there. So looking a little bit better. And of course here, Irish Monkland, just north of him is some stuff going in. Same thing, the coastal areas are getting hit. Of course, Scotland, the western and northwestern portions are getting nailed. And these systems out here, there's really 3 lows that are going to come out and go that way. We'll see what happens with those. Snow in Iceland, what a surprise. The temperatures are down cold enough, so that's what we are seeing there. And that is kind of our weather for today. We're going to put it back on our wonderful temperatures, and we will go down here and see what we can find for the coldest temperature on the planet. And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people saying, hey, I found colder than you. And that is possible. We'll see what we can find down here. Minus 66 so far is what I've seen. And that's all you got? Minus 66, Sue? That's what I've seen here. I'm sure there's got to be colder spots. There's got to be colder. We got to find like minus 75 or something. Maybe not. Maybe I'll have to stick with that minus 66 after all. And I just want to get minus 67. It is summertime. We're coming. It's spring there, so it is warming up. And minus 66 degrees Celsius is what I have found there, and that is the same as Sue. So again, it's a tie. Darn it! I was hoping for a better one than that, but that is all right. What's up in this high? Oh no, that's a little warmer there. But yep, minus 66. So still bundle up your penguins. At least it's not minus 80 something, and that would be a lot worse. So we will leave it at that for today, ladies and gentlemen. And that has been very, very awesome. And of course, let's see if we can get back over here, and we'll finish the show off with Stromboliing, and that'll be wonderful. That as we've seen, that weather system should be going over. Does it make a difference? Too cold? Not really, Kate. The only difference is, yeah. Hey, Alex, welcome. And Kate, the only difference there is instead of freezing in about a minute, you freeze in about from minus 60 to minus 70, maybe 30 seconds. Okay, so that is about it, and that's what it's like. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you everyone for being here today. I appreciate all of you. Our views of Stromboli should increase, and seeing the cloud movement and stuff going across, so pretty awesome. Only had one super chat today, and that was from our wonderful Irish monk, and thank you very kindly for that, Irish monk. Appreciate that support. and I never did see who got the membership that I gifted, but we'll see what happens. And the other one got sent back to me as a credit, so I'm kind of confused if anybody did at all or not. But we'll see. And for those people who are not members yet, do please take a look at your system. There is a way to turn on the gift, accepting a gift. So that might be something you want to take a look at. That way you would be able to get a membership for free when we do buy memberships for you guys, and when they're gifted out. So all good in that respect. And thank you, everyone. Thanks for those wonderful moderators for helping out. And of course, Arizona Snowman and Piggy and C&D Boy and Gary, 24/7 Liveys at Skies, and of course all the wonderful members in here, and Sue and Oz and Kate and so on, Mona, and just to mention a few. And really, I do appreciate having all of you. Kananaskis Country, wonderful member of the Lava family. So appreciate all of you. I really do. So thank you, and very good night to all of you. And please, please make sure that you tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. Take care, everyone, and all the best to all of you. We'll see you all tomorrow. Good night, and oink oink.